Hello everyone. See, I'm trying to do it like my introduction differently. Anyway, hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Kim, and this is Q&A, where I answer your questions that you guys, or I attempt to answer them. I think I answer them. How are you? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're keeping warm. If it's cold where you are, if you're in a warm climate, God bless you. I'm jealous. I'm doing all right. I've been busy. I've been trying to keep up. I think I'm keeping up. Been doing a lot of reflecting on things, been feeling a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. Top tier are anger and frustration, but also a knowing, also an observing, which isn't an emotion, but is an action. But anyway, how are you doing? I hope you are taking care of yourselves. I hope you are engaging in self-care. A good self-care practice. It is not just an internet buzzword. It is a evidence-based practice. Okay, so it's important to ensure that you are taking care of yourselves, engaging in physical self-care, psychological, emotional, spiritual. Okay, all that good stuff, and just making sure it is as balanced as it can be. Okay, there's a lot going on. Obviously, America's still being terrorized by its own president. America is fully naked and exposed. Spiritually, we are still arriving where we need to arrive. We're still being pushed up. Energetically, I feel like we are in a place where we are finding ourselves wanting change individually, as a collective. Subconsciously or consciously, we are just heard one of my guides say tragedy moves us forward, which is like, but I get it. Man, it's hard living in the physical world. It's hard. But for those of us who are strong enough to, for those enough who are comfortable with discomfort, for those of us who are prepared and awakened in your own definition of that, then you will go where you need to go. You are ready. And there are some of us who are just not, and we know who that is. But anyway, I'm going to talk about Jack Smith. I'm going to talk about him. I did watch his public hearing. I did watch it. And it was very good. He's very energetically. I studied him. And it made me think about the times I've channeled him, and it's such a match. He is the same. He doesn't change. The same look that he had talking in the hearing is the same expression he had when I channeled him. Sort of looking up, very intelligent, very controlled. he has this ability to, I would guess you would have to as a lawyer. He listens very carefully to what is being said and picks it apart, like, you know, very easily, like a lawyer would. But it's a skill. Not everyone. It's a very strong skill he has. But y'all know I have a crush on it. You know, it's just a crush. It's not. Anyway, I'm veering off. But I'm sorry for the background noise. Also, that's my heater. I'm just very cold. You know. So I have to keep it on. But I'm sorry if it's annoying. Anyway, what was I saying? Jack Smith. So he is just too cool for school. They couldn't, the Republicans, I'm going to get to them in a second, but they just couldn't shake him. They couldn't, what they were saying, or rather the questions they were asking him, or the statements they were making, the points they were trying to make was so pointless. It's just a political theater for them. It's just a show for Donald Trump. Like, the first time he testified, did the closed hearing, he just schooled them. And I don't know why they did it a second time. I mean, I'm glad they did it because he wouldn't stop demanding it. But also, they tried to come with new people, mostly prosecutors and like former judges. All white, of course. That's a significant thing. First of all, I'll get to that in a second. But the Democrats did really well, and the reason why I said they did really well is because they focused on the truth and the facts. Obviously, is what they do, but they didn't let the Republicans, which is what they were trying to do, rewrite history, like rewrite what happened on January 6th. And he did such a really good job of reminding people about those that Trump pardoned, the fact that they have, since being pardoned, committed crimes. A good amount of them have committed horrendous crimes, crimes against children, just crimes, just because they're criminals and perverts. But you know, and they did a really good point of reminding what they did to, you know, they killed police officers. And first of all, everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments. But you know, they did an insurrection, harmed people, threatened people. People were running for their lives. People were afraid for their lives. They did a really good job of reminding people of that, and they also they did it a little bit, not a lot, but the Democrats brought in, you know, Jack Smith's words, like testimony about what he discovered, you know, what happened during January 6th. And Jasmine Crockett was amazing. Her little 5-minute spiel, you know, question she asked Jack Smith. And Representative Garcia did really excellent at bringing up the criminal history of the insurrectionists. So good. That was really important. They didn't get lost in the woods. They made it a point to point out, like, this is just political theater. This is, you know, they're just doing this for Donald Trump. You know, he did everything, Jack Smith did everything with integrity. He made that clear. And he said, I stand by my decisions. Y'all couldn't shake him. because the thing that I've always felt in his energy. And you guys know I've done a lot of readings on Jack Smith. All the cards I pulled for him, always on major cards. Like he always says, I'm the one who's the authority. I'm the one with the power, and integrity. And he said, one of the Democratic representatives read something Donald Trump said, and asked, how does that feel, or how does that affect you, or something to that matter, something to that effect. And he just said that is meant to intimidate me, and I won't be intimidated. I won't be intimidated. And I'm not afraid, essentially. He knows what Donald Trump did. And he talked about one of the Republican election, one of the Republican electors who refused to do what he wanted him to do, basically like commit fraud. And he talked about them being blackmailed and threatened and all of those things, like all of those things that this man put into action because he is a bag man. He's in the mob, Donald Trump. And he talked about those things. He knows who's he's dealing with, and he's just like, I won't be intimidated. I stand by my decisions. I would do it again. I would still, if I had an opportunity, do it again. And you won't intimidate me. I follow the rule of the law. And the thing about Republicans, the thing that is so annoying about them is how pathetic they are and how much they don't care. And the irony is not lost on me over the fact that they use the phrase, their point in this hearing they were trying to make is that Jack Smith was a tool to be used to weaponize the Department of Justice. And it's just like, are y'all okay? Are y'all kidding me? You would say that today, January 24th, 2026, day of our Lord, on Beyonce's internet. You would open your... I was about to say something, and I had to pull back. But you would open your mouths. You would open your mouths to say you were used to weaponize. This was a political, this was politicized. Are you kidding me? Are you okay? Do you see what... Anyway, the irony is not lost on me, okay? And I'm sure it's not lost on Jack Smith. And they try to nitpick everything. He had an answer for everything, and the answers always made sense. They try to, because they do this thing, because the public doesn't know about the process. The general public doesn't know about the process of an investigation when it comes to like the law and things like that. And so the things they were talking about, like, tapping someone's phone and getting subpoenas to get into someone's phone, when really it's just metadata. You're just seeing who called who, how long the conversation was. You might even get some text messages. You know what I mean? So it's just, they make it try to be a bigger thing than what it is, when it really is just a standard procedure of a court case, of an investigation. And the thing about the Republicans that really, really like grates on me, even though I understand this isn't for me, this performance thing they do, this lying, this is for their supporters who just blindly follow them. It's not for me. It's for Trump and their supporters. I understand that. But they just want to rewrite history. They don't live in reality. They don't live in reality, and they want us to live in their reality. They had the police officers there in the gallery watching us, the ones who protected their lives, and I was so glad that the Democrats kept bringing that up and thanking them for being there. And oh my goodness, one of my favorite parts of that hearing was when one of the Democratic representatives said, talked about Donald Trump mass pardoning all of these insurrectionists. And Jack Smith said, he said, I don't understand why someone would mass pardon. He said mass pardon, Jack Smith. Mass pardon criminals who harmed police officers, and those people are dangerous to the community, and it was proven that they are in fact dangerous to the community because they committed more crimes, and as you well know, they will commit more crimes in the future. And I just said, go on ahead. And these Republicans are just pathetic. They don't care. They are pathetic people who y'all just sit up there. They're not, and I have to remind myself, it's not for me. They're not talking to me. They're not talking to me, the person who has logic, who can critically think, who has the ability to do critical inquiry, who can understand that 1 + 1 is 2. They're not talking to someone like me. And he made it clear. They kept trying to hammer in this. Did you get Democrats' information? How were you going to prove this? Well, he said, the people who worked with him were the ones who testified against him. The people who worked with him are the ones who gave me all of this information. And he made it clear. And I didn't know. I knew a little bit about his background as far as his work at The Hague, but I didn't know he worked for the Obama administration. I didn't know how far back his career went. And he worked on an integrity, let's just call it the Integrity Investigation Squad, essentially. Went after both Democrats and Republicans who engaged in corruption. And he dismissed cases against He made that clear. Like, you're not going to get me. I do my job. I follow the law. I respect the Constitution. And I have investigated Democrats. I have dismissed cases against Democrats as well as Republicans. I have tried cases against Democrats as well as Republicans. He made it clear. And all this is going on. This man is live tweeting or truth socialing, whatever it's called. Calling him deranged, saying he's corrupt, saying he should lose his law license. You know why? Because he was the only man who was willing to go after Donald Trump. I say man because Letitia James, okay? He was the only man willing to go after Donald Trump. The only one. You know why? Because the law is the law. He took an oath. He follows and respects the Constitution, and if you break the law, he fully believes you need to be in jail. That's it. That's what his line is. And that's why Donald Trump is scared of him, because he calls him a lunatic because they probably can't find anything. Because if they could blackmail Jack Smith with something, they would have. He would be somewhere. And they can't find a thing on him. That's why. That's the truth. That is the knowing that I know. He's protected. And spiritually, I mean. And that is why Donald Trump calls him a lunatic, because he's afraid of him. Jack Smith is not finished with Donald Trump. Donald knows it, and Jack Smith knows it. When I tell y'all, I told y'all, and I'll say it again. Nothing in terms of like new information came out in this hearing. But it's nice to hear that you're not crazy. It's nice to hear that there's someone who cares and will do their job and is not afraid because they didn't do fuck shit and can't be blackmailed like these Republicans. He said that he intimidates them and he blackmails people. He engages in intimidation tactics. Jack Smith said that about Donald Trump. He didn't say blackmail, but he engages in blackmail. He engages in intimidation tactics, threatening people's families, threatening their lives and their livelihood. That's what he said. That's what he said. What he did to people. That's what people testified. People who held on to their integrity and said, I'm not doing that, Mr. President. There's no evidence. I know this man is going to die. But looking at this hearing, people are probably not really going to pay attention to it because people just, I don't know, their brains are missing. I don't know. But I know like people are like the Epstein files. But this, I would love for him to go down. He wouldn't want to go down for this. He's not going down for the Epstein files. You know why? Because it's women. And people don't care about women, typically. And I'm using it generally. I'm not saying like all people, like there are people who just don't care, but generally people don't care about women or children who are harmed. And if you want to argue with me about it, I'm not saying it's not important, the Epstein files. But what I'm saying is that's not going to get any traction. You already see what's happening. Like I said, what would happen long ago. It's not going to get any traction. But I would hope that we would be in a timeline where he would get in trouble for the insurrection. I would hope that could happen. But, whew, child. Anyway, I've been talking for 23 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoyed my recap. Jack Smith started his own law firm, and I can't wait to see what he does. Imagine he became the Attorney General. I would love that. Anyway, let's get into these questions. Let's get into it. First question. Hi, Kim. Again, if I put a heart next to your question, then that means I'm answering it. Okay? So make sure you keep a lookout for a heart from me. Hi Kim, I hope you are doing well. I am doing well and taking time for yourself. I am doing that also. Can you take a look at the polar vortex storm hitting so many people this weekend? So many models, so many uncertainties, and people are concerned. I didn't hear about that until yesterday. My sister was like, "It's a storm coming. We need to get food." And I I said, okay, so I need to do that tonight. Actually, I'm not gonna go too crazy because I'm on a budget, and two, they always do that, and they're like, storm is coming, it's gonna be terrible, and then you just look outside and it's like 4 inches. Anyway, okay, I feel like it's gonna be bad though. This is what happens sometimes. I'll be like, when I'm like, oh, no, it's not gonna be, and it ends up very intense. It ends up a very intense storm. Okay, can you tell me about this storm? Someone said y'all wanna hear a joke? It's supposed to be an ice storm in Texas as well. And the lady, it was on Threads, the lady was saying, oh, I saw on the news that an ice storm is coming our way, and I wasn't sure, like, if I should take it serious or not, or what should I do. She was like, then she saw Ted Cruz getting, it might have just been a joke, but then she said, I saw Ted Cruz getting on a plane, and I knew it was serious. Y'all remember he did that? Went to Mexico? You abandoned your people and went to Mexico. Talking about I was coming right back. Your parents, your wife and kids are capable of going there with security. You didn't need to go. You wanted to sit in that sun while your peoples didn't have power and people froze to death. All these people gotta go. Let's take a look. It's 5:12, so I don't want to be here too long. Okay, 7 of Cups. I'm not, sometimes I'm okay with reading on the weather. A storm is coming, yes. It'll be moderate to bad. It will be moderate to bad. 5 of Cups. 7 of Cups, 5 of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. I'm looking at the pictures in here. And a 2 of Wands. I'm looking at the pictures here. Seven of Cups, 5 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. It's coming. Queen of Cups. Look at the snow here. 7 of Swords. 2 of Wands. 4 of Pentacles. Justice. And the 6 of Cups. So moderate to bad. Some places will be worse than others. It's going to be very cold. The 5 of Cups energy reminds me of cold, being chilly. There's no swords here though. That would be more. I don't see any swords. I don't see any swords. But I don't know, 9 of Wands is hiding there though. Bad to moderate. Coastal areas might get more snow. It's gonna be like very steady. Okay, that's why we have the pentacles here. Some places might get freezing rain. I don't know, for some reason, when I'm looking at the Queen of Cups, I keep hearing rain, because it's a water element. But then the snow too, you know? It's gonna be cold. Is what I hear the most. Yeah, bad to moderate. Make sure, I can tell you this, how to prepare. Make sure you have everything charged. Make sure you have candles. Make sure you have firewood if you have a fireplace. Make sure you have enough food and water. Low level things you could cook, you know, oats and grains, hot chocolate, tea, you know. Yeah, prepare, but prepare, bad to moderate, okay? Very cold. You could feel the cold. Okay, next question. For many months now, I have been seeing the number 333, particularly in clocks, but also in some other unrelated areas. Does this have significance spiritually? I've heard this could be an angel number or sign from, I promise you guys I can read. I'm just reading slow because I can't see. A sign from guides, but also not sure if it's just a coincidence. Synchronicity. How do you feel when you see the number 333? 333. 333. 3 equals expansion, from what I understand. Before I look up the number 333, I'm going to pull one card to see if what I'm sensing is correct. There's an emotion that comes over you when you see that number, rather. Curiosity or surprise. You're getting subconscious, you're getting messages. You're not listening, first of all. The world, expansion is on the bottom. That's your card. Balance. And temperance. Okay. Expansion and healing. You're not paying attention to something, like the universe is like, hello. Hello. What more can we say to you? But you won't listen. Yeah. Yes, I knew it. And that is here too. The world, temperance. Two of Pentacles. Okay. The world is about new cycles, it's about accomplishment and moving forward. Okay, it's about upgrading too. Temperance is a healing card. It's about balance also. And the Two of Pentacles is about balance. In the 333, it says, as an angel number, it is a powerful sign of divine support, encouraging you to embrace creativity, growth, and balance. Listen, hello. Literally, all these three cards have to do with creativity, growth, and balance. Okay, that your angels are nearby to help you. You see the wings on here? Crazy, right? To help you move forward, like I said, moving forward with confidence in your life's path. Relationships and career. It's a message to trust yourself, set plans in motion, and focus on positive energy to manifestation, often linking to the Ascended Masters and the principles of expression. Okay? If you are a creative person, if you're in the creative field, if you feel drawn to some sort of creative expression, get into it. Okay? Hope that answers your question. Alright, next question. Hi Kim, I've been thinking a lot about climate change lately, which seems to have completely vanished from the headlines. Oh yeah, always. They don't even care about climate change. The predictions get more dire with each passing year. Do you see humanity being able to withstand climate change? How do you think we'll adapt? If humans don't change, we will not be able to withstand climate change, because that means volcanoes activating more, water levels rising, the devil. Water levels rising, environmental poisoning, ice caps melting, earth warming even more. No. Sorry to say. I'm sorry to say. Will we get it together is the real question, I think. Seven of Cups. There's still, I think, injustice. There's still time. Well, I don't know if it's still time, but there's still things that could be done, not necessarily to like do a full reversal, but to as an intervention. But that would mean complete cooperation by many people. You have countries who try to follow, try to care about regulations, and then you have America here now that does not give a fuck. Excuse my language. So what I do see, maybe not in our lifetime, I don't see the earth being destroyed. I don't. Maybe I'm just not seeing that far out, but I don't. It will be very changed. It will be. Countries won't be countries anymore. The United States won't be the United States anymore. This country is not going to be united many years from now. But I do see intervention. Maybe not in our lifetime, and maybe when something catastrophic happens. Okay? But the justice is there. This feels like, the devil is here, and that's all the problems. That's the people not caring. That's capitalists. That is the billionaires who... It's just all the toxic shit that we... Anyway. But this gives hope here. But the Seven of Cups is about the choice. To make the right choice. Next question. It seems that Trump is backing down and invading Greenland. Apparently, he didn't anticipate the other world's leaders to stand up to him. What do you make of this? I don't think he's backing down. Let's see. Is Trump... Oh gosh, it's all going down over here. I'm dropping cards. Is he backing down? Ace of Swords and King of Swords. Nine of Pentacles. I don't think he's backing down. You have the Ace of Swords, the King of Swords, and Nine of Pentacles. You have the Knight of Cups came out in reverse. Is Trump backing down? I think he's surprised by the response. I think he didn't expect them to be like, what? Who are you? I'm sorry. What? You have Canada trading with China, and they use the phrase New World Order. America is being left behind. America's being left in the dirt. America is a farty dirt patch. I'm not completely mad at it. We have the Ace of Swords, the King of Swords. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups in reverse. No one likes you. No one likes you. You have the Star. Okay. He's not giving up. The Five of Pentacles. Five of Cups. My mistake. The Four of Swords. He sees he's losing something now. And they're trying to change their approach to it with the Four of Swords here. Okay. But he's not going to give up. No. But the damage has been done also. He's not giving up. I could feel it in the energy. Let's see the visual. And my guides are saying, my guides are shaking their heads. He's not giving up. Will Donald Trump give up his pursuit of Greenland? Will Donald Trump give up his pursuit of Greenland? No. He means it. Anyway, next question. He's not giving up, is what I make of it. I could feel it in the energy. He's very serious. This is a plan. This is a plan. Did you see his board of peace? His new board of peace that he invited Vladimir Putin to be on. It's like, here's the Greenland thing, okay? You see what's happening in our country. He's trying so hard, like he's trying so hard to become a dictator. Like he wants that accolade so badly. And he's a useful idiot, and so he's working with psychopaths and sociopaths and sycophants who's just glazing him up and saying, "You're the greatest, but we need to do this." Like, it's crazy stuff. He doesn't really care about Greenland. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't know what day it is. But all that aside, it's like Star Wars. What episode are we in? The Empire Strikes Back? Or an attempt? It's like his board of peace will be likened to the Empire or Hydra or Cobra. Hydra, like from Captain America, or just Marvel in general, the Avengers. If you watch superhero movies or read comics, Hell Hydra is what he's trying to like start. Or like Cobra from G.I. Joe. The villains, you know. That's where we are. So he's not gonna give up. He is very serious about it. And we'll see what Republicans are literally doing nothing. They could stop all this. They could collectively decide, both the Senate and Congress together, Republicans could be like, let's just end this. But because they have like Grindr accounts and they're perverts and probably engages in some other corrupt behavior that he can blackmail and threaten them with, they are doing his bidding. I'd say about maybe 80% of them, and the other 20 are just MAGAs, you know. So there's that. Anyway, next question. I love it when you channel Edgar, and if your other guides and all your other guides, I know it takes a lot out of you. Do you see Trump in office still in July? Specifically, I don't think that's our nation's birthday, but I'm picking up what you're putting down. I don't know. Six months. For almost 6 months. 7. Yeah, from now. 6. Let me ask. My guides say no. The energy has been so unpredictable. Like the overall energy, it has been all over. So so it's like, I can't wait to eat dinner, guys. I'm so hungry. Nine of Swords. Donald Trump be in office in July. I'm saying no. Edgar said no, it will be a surprise. Like, it would be shocking. Show me in the cards. The Fool, Seven of Swords, Queen of Swords, the High Priestess, Ace of Cups, Nine of Swords, the Sun, the Lovers, Nine of Pentacles. Big time cards. The answer may be no. It's no. Nine of Swords, Scandal. It feels like exposure of some sort. Secrets coming out. The Fool, New Beginnings. Major card. Seven of Swords, walking from a toxic situation or, corruption line theory. Okay. After the Fool. Queen of Swords. Truth. Okay. Observing. The Truth coming out. The High Priestess is about mysteries and secrets. Okay, and the High Priestess is here. This is about secrets. This is about new, like, things that were hidden, things that were mystery coming out. Okay. Ace of Cups. There's a happy energy. It's a happy energy. The Sun. Sun is a major card. It's about coming from the dark. There's no moon here. Coming out from the darkness. The light shining on you. Abundance, clarity, illumination, enlightenment. The Lovers is about choice. There's a choice to be made. Two choices, in fact. The Nine of Pentacles. Stability, security. So perhaps two choices about our nation's stability and security. Two choices. Okay. So the answer is yes. We'll see what happens. Listen, I have channeled my guides. When I'm doing this work, I am talking to them. But I haven't done like channeled messages. I haven't. Today I did though. I channeled so. Let me tell you what happened. I'm going to share tomorrow because I'm not done. I'm gonna do predictions, and I channeled so hard that I fell asleep. Anyway, but I'll share tomorrow what was revealed. There's something I said out loud yesterday regarding ice. It's not good, but when usually I say something out loud, it comes true, like just randomly. It always happens, and so that will be the turning point. But I'll talk about it tomorrow with you guys, because I want to make a full video on it. Okay, so I answered the question. The answer is no, we won't see him in office. I asked, will he be out of office, is what my intention was. Okay? So the answer is no. He won't be in office. Just to be clear. Ideas. To read Jack Smith. Oh, I'm gonna read Jack Smith. Oh yeah. Yeah. A while back. Hi, Kim. I'm gonna click that. Hi, Kim. A while back, you channeled that a Substack article would turn into a big thing. I'm wondering if you could go back to that for more information. If we wait, it was a couple of months ago. I do remember that prediction from Edgar. I have to eat something. I think it was the article that came out recently, the Sasha article. Was that the article? Is that the article? When you said it, that was what I was shown. Yeah. Yeah. Queen of Wands. Four of Pentacles. Six of Wands. King of Wands. The Chariot. Two of Cups. Death. Page of Pentacles. There is a story from this Substack with that interview, Sasha. There's something building. The story is coming out. People are investigating. Someone's investigating this story. Yeah. Someone's investigating this story. And like trying to make sure that it's the truth. It is the truth. It is the truth. But this here, you know, there are two major cards here, the Death and the Chariot, but for some reason the major cards is major. This card is the most important energy in the deck, the Page of Pentacles. This is a slow moving energy, but it's a focused, methodical energy. So whomever is doing this investigation from that is doing it in a way that is slow, gathering information, gathering sources, making sure their T's are crossed and their I's are dotted. It's going to be really big. It's a big newspaper too. But I could see the person is like secret. It's a secret sort of investigation. How long have I been chatting here? Okay, we got time. Got a lot of questions. Will Trump continue to hurt Canada with trade and negotiate the USMCA in July? Yes. Let's see what the cards say. Trump is completely off the rails. He's not even the president. I mean, but he's not the one. He likes to appear. He's being so. Listen, he is off the rails. Oof, Lord. Judgment, Three of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Queen of Swords, Five of Swords, Seven of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Judgment, the answer is yes, he will continue. Page of Wands is the most important energy. Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords. Five of Swords, winning at all costs. Seven of Wands, standing your ground. Also, very important energy with that question. The Ace of Pentacles, expansion and growth. The answer is yes, he will. Will he negotiate what? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. United States Mexican Canada Agreement. A free trade pact. Okay. Will he negotiate? No, he will not. You know, one of my guys said just now, before I clicked it, he said that is how, or they said rather, that is how he's standing his ground. That's what he's standing his ground in. Could always change, but hi Kimberly, I would like to know, why are we still dealing with this situation? Why isn't anyone putting a stop to this? Did Congress and or NATO lose their NATO hasn't, because NATO, do you hear what NATO stands for? So I wouldn't, you know, NATO is we're all supposed to be allies of those who are in NATO. So you're not supposed to, that's what the treaty is. You're not supposed to go against each other, and that includes America, even when you're doing shit like this. And if the line wasn't crossed, you know, it's Venezuela, they don't give a shit. But you know, why are we going through this? Is this an existential question or a material world, physical world sort of? Why isn't anyone doing anything? We have to go through this. Yeah. I think America, you know, it's like karma wise, and I'm answering you. I'm answering this question. I'm going to pull a card, but I'm answering this question because I have been doing so much reflecting in the last few days leading up to this video, spiritually, and also looking at the history. And I know my guides are drawing me to certain things. I've been watching a lot of um, historical movies in the context of the history of America. You know, racism, um, the enslavement of Africans, and all those things. It starts there. It starts there. And I'm gonna try to tie this up quick because I can be long-winded, but I know that is the reason why I've been watching those things this week, and reflecting on, why are we going through this? And it is not simple, but there's so many facets as to why we are where we are, culturally, race-wise. Different cultures and different races are spiritually being tested and given lessons for the I'm hearing my guys saying, for the things that they won't confront, and also for the things that for what we deserve. Okay, so there's lessons for different different sects, I would say, the races and communities, and collectively there's a lesson. And also, we are going through this to point out what the true issue is in our country, putting aside that this man cheated. I don't care what anyone says. But even if he didn't change, even if, like, putting aside what the Election Truth Alliance have identified, just the Republicans in the redistricting and suppressing. Anyway, I'm not getting it. I'm veering off. But going back to what I was trying to explain, America spiritually has a karmic what's the word? A karmic receipt. Okay. And one would say, well, there are people who are suffering that didn't do anything karmically. That is correct. However, when you look at the history of this country and how it was built, and the genocide that happened numerous times in numerous cultures on the soil of this country, when you look at the continued terror, the enslavement, the abuse, the murder, the rape of Black Americans in this country, it's in the soil. People still now, white people still they still benefit off of that. And some of them, a large majority, will not acknowledge that. It's minimized, we're told, that was so long ago. And that's not the truth. And so 5 to 6 decades of terror done in this country. And then you have, and I often say when people try to minimize, like, oh, that was a long time ago, and you are like, okay, but I'm 41. I was born in 1984, and my parents were born in the 50s. Okay, my mother is 70. She turned 70 last year, December. And my father is 69. Okay? They were born before the Civil Rights Act was passed, which was in 1964. Okay? And so that was only 61 years ago. So black people fought for the right to vote, for human rights, and not just for black people, for other cultures as well to have rights. Civil Rights Act. And even then it was a problem. It was not free. So I say that to say we are going through this. And let's look at America as what it truly represents versus what they say it's supposed to represent, because it's supposed to be the land of the free, the home of the brave. It's supposed to be multicultural. It is multicultural. We're supposed to be accepting. We're supposed to, people come from other countries to escape poverty or terror or oppression or a dictatorship. They come here for refuge or what have you, and that is what it's supposed to be. It's what it's supposed to be, but it's not, and it never has been. Not to its own citizens, not to black people. And so all of that terror, all of that, even to this day, is why we're going through this. Why no one is doing anything. Because white supremacy, unchecked, is destroying the systems in this country. So it is destroying itself, and it is exposing itself for what it truly is and what it has always been, and you can't hide anymore. It's naked. And so they are their own destruction. And unfortunately, we are experiencing it in real time and seeing people suffering, and it is abhorrent and it is terrible. It's also karmic. It can't be sustainable. People have to break free of their comfort and say, like, oh no, we can't have the same shit anymore. We need to change and really start living what we tout as a country. We can't do that anymore. And so now America it will be brought to the front and shown that y'all thought y'all could be the biggest powers, but look, you're destroying yourself because of your white supremacy. And white supremacy is worldwide. But I think it's America's turn to deconstruct the denial, the comfort, the complacency, the ignorance, the hatred, the bloodshed, the terror, and other cultures who were also comfortable and sleeping, and now they're understanding the impact and the seriousness of what it's like, what the experience is like. And so this what you're going through and why no one is doing anything is because you have to be the one to do the thing. Black people have fought tirelessly for not just our own rights, for the rights of others. And that's what it has gone through history that is ignored. But we have learned that skill. We have gained the skin to do that. And so now it's y'all turn. Now it's a lot of y'all have to stand up. And that may mean being in danger sometimes, but that's why. That's why. So you have to figure out what things being done looks like for you, and how you could do it. But some of us deserve rest. And so America is in a very big lesson that I hope is learned. But we can't go on this way. We can't go on this way. We can't. I certainly won't. That's why. People are too cool with casual racism. People are too cool with accepting that this kind of look. That's why this came out. The imprints. You see the belly? Before we can come together, you have to recognize everyone's struggle. You can't cherry pick people's struggle. You have to acknowledge that a knife is there. Oh, hi Kim. What do you think about Mark Rutte and what he said about Trump? What did he say about Trump? Last thing I saw was like, oh, he doesn't mean it. He's fine. That's what last thing I saw. Are we at 2 hours? So I gotta go soon.